to my channel. I have been I've been trying to just give you some ideas on ornaments that you can make. And today we're going to make these. And what I've been trying to do is at the same time I'm doing this because I can you guys hear that? Well, I'll find out when I do the recording, right? Okay. Anyways, so what I'm doing is I'm using items from my Etsy shop that you can see while I'm, instead of going and researching and figuring out and taking the time to do um, social media stuff, I can concentrate on YouTube and kind of throw in my crafts and designs that way. So we're going to be making this one right here. And this is just another version, and I'll talk to you about that in a bit. And I used pearls this time. I like pearls. And I do have a lot of pearls in my shop, and I'll talk to you about the pearls I have in my shop. But I'm going to show you next time what I have for our future, if I get a chance. Okay, if I get a chance. A lot of this has to do with my time. So this here is a cute Easter bunny. Easter bunny. This is a cute Christmas bunny because it's not for Easter, but you can use it for Easter too. And I thought this would make a cute ornament. So I made a little bunny, and I'll show you guys how to make that in another video. And this was my first one, which was so cute. I like the size of this one. And I'll talk to you about that later. And then I made this Christmas tree, which was quite easy. And I'll show you about that also later. And here, what these are is I have an Etsy, I have a pink lot in my shop, and I only have like 3 left. And I decided I'm going to try and use some of the pieces from that pink lot in my designs. And so that's what this and these are from. And then last but not least, really cute, a cake. So this is a Christmas cake that I designed, and hopefully I'll try and teach you how to do this. In the meantime, what I used for this one, so if you go on the lookout, I use, this is not toilet paper, but you can use a toilet paper roll. But what this is the inside like of a foil, because look how sturdy that is. See how sturdy that is? So that's what I used for this one. So if you have the inside of a foil or something like that, this particular one, let me see the size of this one. It was probably foil, and it's about a little over 1 inch, so 1 1/8 or something like that. So that will be for the future. Grab your either toilet paper roll or this. I like this because it's very sturdy. I mean, it's hard to squish this one. That's why I liked it. And I thought making a cake or a cupcake would be cute. And I thought cake. No, this is a cake. Okay, those are for next time. I'm going to place them up here out of the way. And then I'm going to work on showing you how to make this one. Okay, now I have laces in my shop. This particular lace, I'm getting low on it. It's a brand new lace that I just started, and I had gotten about 10 yards or so for a sample, and it seems to be selling out really well. But I wanted you to show you how I used this one. I have many more laces. For this one right here, I used this lace that I have in my shop. It had a little stain on it, so I cut it off so I won't send it to a customer. And I said, well, there's some more there, so I'm using this one. And I think that we might use this one on this cake when we make the cake. See, they look so cute on the cake. That's the one I used for this. And then I again used this is that trim that I have in my shop I talked to you guys about last time. And this is the best, a better priced one. It's under $5 a yard for this one in my Etsy shop. And yes, some of you are buying it because it's going very well. Okay, so we're going to do this one, and it's not hard. This one I'm showing you how to use a clear bauble. This time, if you notice, I'm not using any fabric. And what I did is I got a clear bauble, and I have some feathers, some pink feathers. Now this would look really pretty if you drop pearls in there. feathers. Since I already did the other one with just feathers, I was thinking I should add pearls, but I sealed that other one up. So I'm going to just make this next one identical because these will end up going in my Etsy shop, and I want two available instead of, I usually make a 2 or 3, and that's it. And then maybe I'll go back and make more if those sell. That's usually how I do it in my Etsy shop when I'm selling my handmade items. So all I'm doing is getting these, and these feathers are very inexpensive. These are feathers from Dollar Tree, and I went to the kids section and I went to find a boa. And I was just one of the customers. I told them what I did last video, and one of them said, one of my followers said, "Oh, good idea for the boas." And then it reminded me of when I first got these boas. I put a white, a pink, and a lavender, I think, in. And so you could do this with lavender too, because they, whatever color they have there. Um, and guess what? And then my husband says, "What are you taking those for?" I'm the messy one and my husband's the neat one. Excuse me there. I'm still drinking my coffee. Okay, so I think that's enough feathers in there. Notice that on this one, I wanted to leave some of the feathers showing. And then I also put something on the bottom. So here we go. So most of the time when I'm going to do this glass is very slippery. So when you're using the glass, you're going to find that it's very slippery compared to even the shiny plastic bulbs. So, and this is a small glass one. I'll show you the size of this one, if I can. No, where are you? Oh, here, I'll get one from here. I was looking for a tape measure. Okay. I like these because I could wrap them around the bulb, but this is a smaller bulb than the other bulbs I've been using. It's just what I just had them from last year, and I'm just using what I have last year. If I get bigger ones, I might make another one with bigger ones, and maybe I'll put pearls in it on that one. So this one, when I wrap it from 1 inch all the way, it measures almost 7 inches. It's just shy of 7. Well, it's a little over 7.5. 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 7 and 5/8. That's what this one measures. Like I said, I just used my stash. I'm not, this year I decided I need to use my stash because last year I had bought some more stuff, and what I noticed is I have a little brown spot in there. What is that? Is that on the feather? I don't know. Okay, so here, what I'm going to tell you guys is that I am recording this private, and then I'm going to release it later. So when I release it, I will be available to answer any questions that you might have. It'll get covered anyway with the top thing, so I think it'll be all right. It looks like it's on the bulb. So I'll be answering your comments when I release this video. I was just trying to figure out a way that I could just record it straight to YouTube. And so far, recording it unlisted or private is the best way for me to do it. Okay. So when I showed you how to use this before in the last video, I took this, I usually take the lace and I'll wrap it around and I'll look for the pattern and see where it meets. Oops. And you know, lace stretches a little bit, so I will use the stretching technique too. So, and what I figured out was that if I give it a nice stretch, exactly 7 patterns fit on this bulb. So if you're going to use a different bulb, you might need 8 or 9 patterns if it's a bigger bulb. For this bulb, that's what I needed. So I know ahead of time that's what I need, and what I'll do is I'm going to join these together, and then sometimes I'll glue them on top and sometimes I won't. This one, since I know that see how these breaks are on it, I probably need to layer it on top of each other, and that'll help with that. So what I'm going to do is when I put this on, I look to see how it will blend, if you can see it or not, and I will trim it up a little. So this one, I decided I'm going to trim it just a little here. You do it the way you want. Um, but this is what I do. I kind of clean up any little edges. This part is going to go on top. So I want it to be the cleanest because that's what's going to be seen. Okay. And these disconnect here on this. So I'm going to leave that alone, and I'll probably layer that part on top and then cut some of the bottom later. So right now, okay, so when you put it on, it almost disappears because it's going right over the one that's there. So I'm going to use both um, fabric tack, and you can use just hot glue, but like I've told you guys before, I am going to put this in my Etsy shop, and I try to make sure that these will actually stay together. I give it an extra reinforcement because I want this to last my customer years. I have no idea that where my, like, if the person order it is going to be in a place where it's really hot, and and their trees by the window, or they keep it up all year long and it gets some sun, and I really don't want anything to happen to it. So I'm layering it on top right there. Now I'm going to get the hot glue because I will use both. I'm going to put hot glue on this side. Just this is going to be the part that holds it on right now as we do this quickly. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to go a little more down here, I think. I'm just doing the entire flower. Just looking under there. Yeah. Because I am going to stretch this a little bit when I put it on. And again, I put very little glue. Actually, I've been noticing my eyes I just can't see very well. I tried to put on some bifocals, but that doesn't help. Okay, so now there you go. You can see that it's very hard to see it. I haven't attached it right here, but I will do that after it's on the bulb. This is the main part that's going to hold this piece together. But you can see it disappears. So unless you know I did it, it's going to be hard to see it. Okay. I'm still trying to get that out. I'm going to mix it up. So when you can make this really tight, or what I've been doing is I've been fluffing it up, and that's going to get covered with the thing. So I'm not worried about that. So now the next thing, see, this one's a lot easier. You don't have to worry about all that fabric, although that fabric is beautiful. It's just a different style. And now I'm putting it on, and for me, it fits snugly. You want it to fit a little snug if you can. Sometimes it's impossible. Like this one right here, it was hard to make it snug because of the pattern. I wanted to be kind of close. And it was a little harder because of the pattern. This one, actually, the pattern was better. So I was able to do it. All right, so now I decided that when I put this one on, I could probably have left it a little bit higher. So I'm going to try and put it a little higher. Let me put this cap back on. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and glue this cap on. You know why? Because later on, since I'm already taking the time to put it on, later on I glued it because I want to make sure that it doesn't fall out. You can use hot glue, or you can use, I'm using the fabric tack. You can use E6000. I just don't want it to come off, because when I attached those pearls, I kind of like was starting to worry that, oh, it's going to fall off. So now it's going to take some time to dry. And I like to get one of these rulers. I didn't have it last time, but this is a new little tip I can give you. These are like the kind you can get at the Dollar Tree, or you can get at your sewing shop. And I like to round it a little bit. It helps me to be able to measure. See? And if you want, you can use this blue thing and push it up to where you want it. So this one is going to be, I'm going to put it a little bit closer, about, I think the last one was 1 inch. So I'm going to put it right there, 1 1/4, or no, 3/4 inch from the top is how I measure. I measure all around. So I decided I'm going to use this top section here as my measurement. So here I go. I'm just checking, and I'm going to check all the way around and make them all like that. all the way around. And this one, no, that's the wrong one. This one right here looks really high. So I'm going to pull this side down and needs to go up just a little. Okay, let me try this one. Now this one needs to go up a little. So this is just an estimate. It's just how I do it. I know that it's when you're going around a bulb, it is difficult to make it even. So that's what I'm doing here. So I can use that blue part to see. Now I'm going to go around again. I don't just go once, I go multiple times because I can move it. It can move when you move one side, the other side can move. And then I'll actually attach one and then I'll go again, around again. And this is how I get them kind of even. Now, this is just my way. I don't know. I'm not good at measuring things, like putting a line on things. I'm just not good at it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold it, but be careful when you squeeze too hard. I'm going to use hot glue to start my first one. And I'm putting a little glue right behind this. Oh, I put too much. Look at that. One good thing about the bulbs, you can actually get it off, but I'm not going to take the time to do that if you put too much. And that's just about right. It's a little under there. So I'm going to move this just a little tweety bit down so I have the right measurement. There we go. Now I'm going to check the opposite side. That's pretty close. Okay. So now I don't know. Should I need to be more careful. I put too much. I'm just going to fold this little lip down here like this. Hold it with my finger, trying. As you can see, not everything comes that easy when you're trying to be very detailed. I'm holding it just with the tip of my finger, putting a tiny bit of glue, and I'm going to put it on, but I'm going to check it again. There we go. It's still fine. So now the rest of them should be pretty good because you have two of them anchored in. And so I'll take the rest and I'll still be careful, but I'm not as worried about it, I guess. And this time I'm going to use E6000. Like I said, I like to use E6000 Fabric Tech. This is what I do is I buy the bigger bottles and then I refill the small ones because I like the tips on the small ones. The big ones have you know, more tips, bigger tips. And it dries slowly, so I'm just going to put it on and then and then you can actually move this one. That's one thing about this. You can move it around if it's off. And that's what I'll do. Oops. Okay, this is just not being happy here. It's all right if you don't get it all over. I'm just putting a little bit. I'm going to try and move up closer for my next one. This one's glued, I think. There, this one's not glued. And all right, I'm going to get close there so you can see. Now I'm holding it with this thumb right here. And then I'm putting glue on this side. You don't have to put it like, I'm not putting it where my thumb is at. This is just wrapping it tight, holds it, and putting in the glue holds it. Okay. My goal right now is not to put too much glue, so much glue that it's going to seep out like on my first one did right there. I'm going to have to get that off later. Okay, now I'll just go around and snug them down. All right. Okay, now see how cute that looks? Now over here is our part that you have to really work on, and you always, every time you use lace, you have to think about, how am I going to connect this together? And this is something that from experience I'm teaching you. Okay, what I noticed here is that the one underneath is connected better here in that section. And so I am going to actually snip the top one off a little more. Let's see. Now Yeah, and I'm trying to decide where I'm going to cut it. And I give myself a little bit extra just in case. I'm just cutting this part off, the little bumps off. And I'm going to leave this straight one on right now until I make till I could see better and decide if I'm going to cut it off or not. So I don't know what happened to my pink scissors I like to use, but okay, so now you can see that it looks better so far right there. You can see it looks better, not as cluttery. Look closely, right? Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to decide, okay, this side has all three in the pattern, and then it has a double pattern on top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove, I want to make sure that this overlaps here. Okay, so I'm going to remove some of these. As you can see, this is just like you need to just, I'm going to leave this little, oops, I'll tell you right now why I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm again removing some of the dangles that are duplicate. Here I'm leaving this on so that when I glue it on top of here, I have something to hold on to, and then I'll snip it. Can you see now the clutter is starting to disappear? See that? Now it's starting to look more uniform, and when I'm done, it will take a while before you can find out where it actually is connecting, where the problem is, where I connected them to at. And that's my goal, is to make it difficult for you to find that. So I see I have all this right here and this is very thin. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. I think I'm going to put it, one of the things about fabric tech when you use it, it dries really quickly at the top and sometimes it bubbles out. So every time I use it, I try to put my cap back on it when I sit it back down. And this time I forgot, so it's already starting to, so I'm just putting a little bit of fabric tech here. On the other part, I might put hot glue. So I just covered my fabric tech back up. Just, okay, now I'm going to connect this here. So this is the hardest part of your piece, is determining where you're going to connect it. You could actually just put something over it, like put a bow on top of it. So like this one has little bows. You can cut out a bow, fussy cut a bow, and put it right on top if you run into trouble. But I want mine to look connected, so that's why I'm working on it. So there's other ways to fix things. You don't always have to make them look uniform completely. You can just place something on top of it. So I use the hot glue on that end just so it'll all stay together. Now I'm going to look down and decide what else I want to do. So right here, this is the hard part right here. This chain right here is loose. So I'm thinking I'm going to put glue on the top of it, and then this one is going to go set right on top of it. So I'm going to use hot glue for this one just because it'll grab a little faster. I mean, I could use the other, but this is very detailed work. I'm just trying to glue just that little spot there. Okay, there you go. So when I did this one, I had kind of glued this whole white part down, this little strip, and I decided I preferred not gluing this stuff down and liked it dangling. So I actually had to unglue it and leave it dangling. And then I ended up putting a pearl on the bottom. So I'll show you that pearl. So pearls. In my shop, I have pearls. Now, this is one of my favorites. This is a, I call it double, I think, in the listing. And I like it because I can, if I want, cut it this way. And then it has a single, I mean, you have to cut through the bead connection right there, but I do that sometimes when I need that. I have, this is I 3 or 4 millimeter. These are the smaller beads, and I do have these in different colors. You'll see tomorrow that I have some pink, so that's another. And then I also used this one. I have this in my shop too. They're little small beads. So these are very, I love how versatile these are, and they look pretty too. Um, you can cut them apart, and that's what I did. Or you can leave it, like you can take this and you can leave this straight all the way around. See how pretty that would look? I chose to do it a little different than that. Um, I have these in my Etsy shop, which I have it out because I was thinking of using this, but then I realized it's creamy and everything else is more white and gold, white, pink, and gold. So I decided not to try to use that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I had one more thing. So now another thing I have in my shop is if you look, I might start putting my lots in one category because I see that people are not finding my lots. Um, but this is a lot that I have in my Etsy shop. And you get, somebody just bought something. I guess I'm going to find out if you guys can see that, can hear it when I record. Anyway, which you probably can. So this is the gold set, and it has 4 brooches. This is set 4. I think I have different numbers because I had different brooches. And then it has this little bag with little pearls and stuff in it. And these are meant for me for bridal decor or just shabby chic decor. And so you can see I have I have this in white. I might have cream in this also. And then here's some white 6 millimeter. 6 millimeters bigger than 4 millimeter. And then I have these ovals. I have some white flowers in here. And those are off, a little slightly white, but off-white. I put in some, and I just put in things that were the theme. Let me see. Oh, I have some of this too. I have a little bit of this. I don't carry this in my shop, but I ordered some one time, so sometimes I'll place them in there. I usually take these apart and I put them on my projects. Oh, look, there's some tiny ones here too. Look. Yep. So there's little flowers there. You'll see me use a flower in my next video. So these are available also in silver. There's some silver lots I think still available. So this I have pearl, and these are I don't sell these brooches as brooches for you to wear, although you can, but I sell them for you to craft with. I try to keep the cost low so that you can craft with them. That's what they're for, crafting. But you can still wear them because they are pretty, and they do have pins on them. Okay. Those were my pearls I was showing you. I also have other jewelry I talked about last time. I have different other lots. Green, I think I still have green left, and champagne lots. Okay, so now we're done with that. Now we're going to start using some pearls. So this is what I did for this one. So here's that pearl I showed you, I think. Oh, here they are. All right. So I just take these and I cut them apart like this. Okay. And then I'm going to attach them. I attached these right here. Afterwards, I thought, well, maybe I should have attached them right here. And the reason is whenever you're going to attach pearls, think about the pattern and beauty of your lace and think about where the best place would be for you to leave the beauty or enhance it. And so I thought that would enhance that beauty. This one looks like it moved. Oh my goodness gracious. Might as well get it off now and reattach you. Okay. See, that's what happens though if you use the fabric tack. You got to make sure you don't move them because they'll move. Okay. I'm glad I noticed that. Anyways, so you can use E6000, you can use fabric tack, you can use hot glue. I am going to use my fabric tack. And I'm not going to put them all on. I'm just going to I'm going to put a couple of them on because really for the sake of time. I don't want to be sitting here and just having you watch me do all these little things. I want you to see them. Anyone can glue, cut it apart and glue it on. Anyone can do that, right? All right. And besides, I probably end up moving it so much that I'll make them move like that one I just corrected. Okay, so there's that. I do not I do not have these. Where are they? Oh well, I'll look for them in a moment. All right, so I need the long one. This long one I put all around the bottom right here, and I let it hang down, which I think it takes away some of this beauty. So I was hesitating. I almost decided to put this little white one here, which you can do. These little white ones are cute too. See how pretty that looks? It kind of just blends right in. But I think on this one, when I had it, I think I had kind of left some glue marks on it, and I thought the double would cover up some of those glue marks. So now this ornament will get the same thing. All right, here is where we connected it. I'm gonna, and usually it can get a little bulky here in this little area where you connected it. So I'm gonna start right before it so that it doesn't get any bulk, and I just continue it that way. And again, I do use mostly E6000. E6000. I keep on calling it E6 Fabric Tech. My goodness gracious, Liz. What I do usually is I'll put both. I'm doing about 4 or 5. My first one here, I'm just going to put this so it'll hang on. I started around, I'll start it right there. Okay, so I'm just doing the top row right now. I did go back later and do hot glue on the bottom row, but the part that's really holding it together is the top. Okay, now I'm going to hold it down while I add more glue. You can do it slower with fabric tack. That's one thing good about, and it moves around a bit easier. So that's why I do the fabric tack first. But sometimes I can't even see. Well, I guess I'll wait. I can't see. I wonder if it'll be better if I close my curtain that's in front of me. So I picked it up again because I kind of went off on that line, but you can't do that with hot glue. You can't put it down and then pick it up, but you can with fabric tack. So there's some good things about fabric tack. So I'm going to put a little glue on that one. Hot glue. This one's hot glue. And then I'm going to glue it directly on there. And that's what holds it down. That holds it down while the fabric tack is drying. Okay, more. I'm going to finish this one because I just need to in order to do the rest. I guess I could have did the other part first and maybe it would have been okay. All right. There we go. And again, I'll finish. I put way too much there. Okay, I'm trying to get some off. I do not want a lot of glue on there. One of the things I did realize that is just go back to clean up your ornament and you can, it'll actually peel off of the glass, the hot glue. I'm sure that after it cures, it may not, but you might want to do it right away. Check on see how if you left any masses, because it is feasible to remove it. So everything that we do I design. This time I said, what do? I experimented with all kinds of stuff. And then I said, oh, pearls. That'll look pretty with pearls. So I went with pearls. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm looking to see where I'm going to end it. I think I'm going to end it right there. And hopefully I'll be able to do that. What I'm doing is I'm making sure that it meets. And what I did is I loosened it up over here to make sure that it meets there. Okay. Let me turn on my other light because I'm having trouble seeing. It's so bright in here, but I need the light right on my work. And okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put hot glue on this last one, see if it catches anything. How about the last couple of them? Hopefully it'll catch some lace. Look, it fit perfect because I made sure when you start getting towards that end, I made sure that I wasn't going too tight on my piece. So there you go. Looks pretty, huh? Now, what I did also is I came along here and I decided like spots where I could put hot glue on the underside of this pearls, and I see that this would touch some of the lace if I put it on there. Just put a little, and then I pulled up the lace because this lace is I'm looking around. There we go, right here. Think I'll get some there. I'm not putting it on all of them. That was just what I did on the last one, so I'm doing it on this one. So you can go around and do that if you want, because I felt like sometimes the lace was going down and I want it to be like coming out from the pearls. That's why I did that. Okay, next thing. Pearls around here. We're almost done actually. So you finish off those pearls if you want to keep on going there, because I'll go and do that when I'm off camera, because like I said, all these tutorials take a long time. What I ended up doing is using, you can look at that right now while I grab another jewel. I decided to use that pearl jewel there. Sometimes I put in these jewels inside the lots, but I don't think this one is in any of the lots. And I actually made sure that I use E6000 to connect metal to metal on this one. So what I did was, I'm looking at the pattern is what I'm doing. So on here, I'm going to attach these beads here. And I actually, first I put it on top and then I didn't like how it looked. So I removed one set of the, like that. I removed one, I think. Actually, let's see. Yeah, I think that might fit. No, I think I need to take one more off. More than one off. Okay. All right. So I'm going to attach this around. So what I did on this, I glued it earlier. So it's already glued down. And you can use E6000 or you can use fabric tack. On that one, I used fabric tack, but since now I have the E6000 out, I'm going to use E6000 on it. I'm trying not to put too much. And I don't need to put it on both sets of beads. I think it's fine just putting it on one layer. E6000 has a curing time. So when you first put it on, it probably won't, you can probably remove it again. It'll still be sticky, but you can remove it again. and until it cures. So again, I'm using my trusty hot glue to anchor it in here. I'm letting that hot glue dry so it won't move. And on this side, I need some hot glue. Okay, oops. Was I out of screen on that? So what I did is I put hot glue on both edges and I'm holding it down till it dries a bit. And then now I'm going to put this right here in the center. This one is still not going down. What did I do? I put that one on with hot glue and the hot glue dried before. So I'm going to pull the hot glue off so it'll be flat when I put it on again. See, just a piece of hot glue. And let's do it again. I don't know, I must have moved it or something. Okay. To pull them closer together. A little glue on the ball, but like I said, it scrapes off. Okay, now this one I'm going to use definitely E6000 on the whole thing. E6000, this is a smaller tube. I had tried using this one with the needle, but yeah, it's not for me for sure. But the big one cost about $5 at Walmart. I'm sure I don't think it's that expensive at Hobby Lobby either. So then I put that jewel right there. Okay. So now we have our ornament. Let's see, what am I missing? Oh, okay. Well, let's turn it around so you can see it with the beads on it. There you go. So there, it has the beads. It has this here, which is still drying. And I put that there. And oh yeah, one more thing. I knew I was missing something here. Okay, I have it over here. Another lace I want to show you. I have only, I don't know how many yards I have. I probably have 5 yards here left. But this is a very versatile lace. It looked beautiful in the middle of your, if you make flowers, the center of your flowers. This is beautiful. I have this by the yard in my Etsy shop. And I put this on the bottom of it. Okay. Next. So I opened it up like this, see? And then this is going to be glued right on here. I just noticed I need to snip that. Where it's connected, sometimes there's a break in the pattern, so that's what I'm snipping off. The break in the pattern of the flower, so it looks uniform. And this one was cool. It fit right beautifully on that. Make sure you got the back. Again, I used fabric tack for this one. I'm going to show you right now when I use the fabric tack how I'm able to move it around if I feel like it's not centered. That's one good thing about fabric tack, is that it dries pretty quickly. Within a couple of minutes, it's not going to be moving unless you pull it off, but it takes time to cure. It has a curing period. After the curing period, it actually gets harder. Fabric tack is made to actually tack fabric together, and then you can still wash it. And it does say on it that you can use it for wood, jewelry, different things. So I do use it. It's a very versatile cold glue. It's easier if you're going to take a project with you to take fabric tack. And it applies well. And I've tried other brands. I don't like them. So there's all your beautiful feathers down there. We put it down here on the center and push it down. And then if it looks a little off, I'm able to pull it because it's not dry yet. But it's tacky enough that it's keeping these edges down. Now, it didn't do that as well with the beads, but the beads are a different thing. Oh, you know what? I probably should add a flower down there on the bottom, huh? One of these. Huh. Okay, let me make sure that's centered the way I want it. And I'm just doing it visually. I'm sure it's not completely centered. I also look this way to see if that feels centered this way and this way. I'm making sure all those bottoms are tacked on. So let's see if this would look pretty there in the center. Oh yeah, well, you fell, I can't tell. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. So I'll add that to the center since I have these. So again, you can get that selection, and next time we'll be doing um, the bunnies, I think, or the tree. I'm not sure. Probably the tree. I don't know. Um, okay, this is Liz with Crafty Devotion. I have an Etsy shop, a Facebook group and page. If you go over to my Facebook group, you can find that either my page or my group, you'll find that I'm going to share 2 templates, and those templates are something you might be able to print so that you can use the way I made that bunny. And I'll show you one other thing that I'm going to add to that later. But right now I think I shared a bunny. It's not the exact same one I have, because the bunny cutout I have, I actually made it myself. But it's sure similar to the pattern that you'll see there. And I'll talk about that next time. Okay, all done. This beautiful ornament. And visit my Etsy shop. I'm at Crafty Devotion on Etsy.com. And thank you very much to all of you who have gone over and checked out my shop and picked up some of the laces and trims. And I also encourage you to use your own stock, your own stash. Don't spend a lot of money if you don't need to. So that's why I show you things so that you can use your own stash also. I will talk to you guys next time.